In this podcast episode, Poornima Ramarao, the mother of Suchir Ramarao, an OpenAI researcher who died under suspicious circumstances, shares her story. She recounts her son's remarkable achievements, his ethical concerns regarding OpenAI's practices, and the troubling details surrounding his death, which she firmly believes was a murder rather than a suicide. Poornima begins by describing her son, Suchir, as a prodigy from a young age. He excelled academically, earning a 4.0 GPA in computer science at UC Berkeley and working as a researcher at OpenAI. His contributions included leading projects that would eventually evolve into ChatGPT, a widely recognized AI application. Suchir was not only a top programmer, but also a national champion in computing Olympiads. Despite his success, he faced ethical dilemmas regarding the use of copyrighted data in AI training, which he began to question as OpenAI transitioned to a profit-making model. Suchir's concerns about copyright violations intensified after he was reinstated at OpenAI in November 2023. He expressed his ethical dilemmas to his mother, emphasizing the potential harm to artists and content creators due to the AI's reliance on copyrighted material. He even published articles outlining these issues, positioning himself as a whistleblower. Poornima reveals that just days before his death, Suchir had spoken to a Canadian news outlet about his concerns and was named a custodian witness in a New York Times article, which detailed his allegations against OpenAI. Suchir died on November 22, 2023, shortly after returning from a camping trip with friends. Poornima recounts the last conversations she had with him, highlighting his upbeat mood and concrete plans for the future. However, the official narrative quickly shifted to suicide when his body was discovered days later. Poornima describes the indifference of the authorities, who declared it a suicide without a thorough investigation, despite the numerous inconsistencies and evidence suggesting foul play. The podcast delves into the details of the investigation, or lack thereof, surrounding Suchir's death. Poornima commissioned an independent autopsy, which revealed critical evidence contradicting the suicide ruling. The forensic pathologist noted that the bullet angle was downward, suggesting that Suchir could not have shot himself in the manner described. Additionally, there were signs of a struggle, including blood splatter throughout the apartment and a wig found at the scene, which did not belong to Suchir. Poornima emphasizes that these findings were ignored by the authorities, who seemed intent on closing the case quickly. A significant aspect of the discussion revolves around Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. Poornima expresses her belief that Altman and others at OpenAI may have had a motive to silence Suchir due to the potential implications of his whistleblowing. She recounts how Altman was reinstated shortly before Suchir's death and how the company's leadership has been unresponsive to the family's inquiries. Poornima raises concerns about the connections between Altman and local government officials, suggesting a cover-up that extends beyond her son's death. Throughout the podcast, Poornima passionately calls for a thorough investigation into her son's death, urging the FBI and other federal authorities to take action. She highlights the need for accountability, not just for her son's murder, but also for the broader implications of AI technology and its ethical use. Poornima expresses her frustration with the lack of support from local authorities and the media, emphasizing that the narrative surrounding her son's death has been manipulated to fit a convenient story. Poornima articulates her concerns about the potential dangers of AI technology, particularly in the hands of powerful corporations like OpenAI. She believes that Suchir's death is not an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern of silencing whistleblowers and ethical voices in the tech industry. She calls for greater awareness and regulation surrounding AI, urging the public to recognize the risks associated with unregulated technological advancements.